Hi, I'm Jessica and I'm with Reason. Today we're in Liverpool asking the people whether they agree that there's only two genders. How many genders do you think there are?
I mean, sex and gender, I'd say are two separate things. Sex is, I'd say, something more concrete, but gender, it's a lot more variable.
Multiple. I mean, like sex and gender are two very different things. I would say sex-wise, you've got male and female, but gender-wise, you've got multiple. It's so hard to even put into words, how many there really are, in my opinion.
A lot, more than two.
So how would you define gender?
Well, some people say spectrum, which I suppose, because it can come down to, because I wouldn't say it's down to physical characteristics, I'd say more, again, how people present, whether they feel comfortable with.
I would define it as what you identify as, what you sort of feel comfortable being called, I guess. You've got different pronouns like she, her, he, him, they, them, multiple pronouns. So definitely how you'd rather be identified as.
As however an individual person wants to define it. I think it depends on the person.
Can you define what a woman is?
Someone feels comfortable identifying as one, I'd say identify as a woman.
Someone who wants to identify as a woman is a woman,
Based on whether or not you feel like you're a woman personally, I don't think your biological makeup has to define how you feel your gender.
Can you define what a woman is?
Whatever you want it to be.
Do you think women's only spaces are important?
Yeah, I do think they are, to make women feel safe. Yeah.
So if there's a fluid definition of what gender is, how would you enforce safeguards in women's only spaces?
I don't think that a safeguard in women's only spaces would be the priority. If someone defines themselves as a woman, or if someone wants to infiltrate a women's only space as a man or as another gender, and they're pretending to be a woman to infiltrate a women's only space, I think that's a fully separate issue, and that's their own problem. I think anyone who defines themselves as a woman should be welcome in a women's only space so that anyone can feel safe.
Do you think that, for example, toilets or changing rooms, that people who are born male who want to transition or identify as female, do you think they should be allowed in the women's toilets?
Definitely. If you identify as female and if you feel comfortable being a female, then you shouldn't have to use male toilets, because if you feel uncomfortable being in it's like if I would go into a male toilet, I would feel completely uncomfortable. If you identify as a female, there is absolutely no reason why you can't use female toilets.
What do you think about the women who might feel uncomfortable with biological men going into their toilets?
I suppose it is valid to feel uncomfortable if, you see a biological male walk into your toilets. But it's like what I said before, if I just feel like if you identify as a female, then there's no reason why you shouldn't.